welcome to Humber South for the AFL Ontario Women's Grand Final between the Etobicoke Kangaroos and the Hamilton Wildcats here on Rogers TV. With me in the commentary box is Nick Papadakis and Josh McLean. How are you doing today, J-Mac? You excited for the grand final?
Absolutely pumped to the max. The girls every year, they put on a great show, and this is one of the fantastic things about footy here in Toronto, Paps, is it's not just for the men, for the ladies as well.
Absolutely. These two teams are right at each other. Very tough contest. We're going to have a really quick break. We're going to come back with the opening bounce for what should be a ripping game of women's footy here at Humber South. Underway with the opening quarter here. It looks like the Roos have gone forward first. Ball in hands with Vicky Barron right now. She's going to give it off to the birthday girl, Chrissy Lane, number 19 out there. Hopefully she has a good day. Happy birthday, Chrissy. She's going to go back and have maybe a shot at goal. I don't know about her range, but she might get a little closer here. She's going to roost it by the looks of things to the top of the square. Goes up, looking for a fly. Trevian's down there, Barron's down there, but it's collected well by Hamilton, and they'll clear it out, only to be chopped off by one of the Amaral sisters. That's Maddie. Now, Maddie Amaral looking closer down the ground. Got a lot of targets down there. No Sylvie de Brandebeer out there today. I don't see her just yet. She's a big out for the Roos. Big fly. Oh, geez, Loghane, the MVP for the year, or best and fairest winner for the girls, almost gets it, but minor score for the Roos early.
She is definitely a player we need to look out for today. Erin Loughnane, she's been a standout in this competition, certainly this season, but every season she has a great year. Her husband plays for the Eagles, who are actually in the grand final today as well in Division 1. But great to see Erin get an early touch as the Hamilton Wildcats bring it out of their defensive area. And the mark has been taken by Jocelyn Halliday. Halliday bangs it long on the right foot. She needs some players to kick to, but it looks as though it's all Roos. Although coming through with power and speed, that was Van Sevenant. She got a quick kick forward, and this is a chance possibly for a goal for the Wildcats early on, although it looks as though they can clear the Kangaroos here. But it may come straight back, Paps.
Absolutely, Longhane's pretty uncharacteristic of her to give away a turnover like that. And they're away here. They're going inside 50, Hamilton, but they've turned it over again. So sloppy play from both teams early. Only the minor score to the Roos. They'll clear it out here. It's collected again. Oh, just ran over it there was Kamoli. Kamoli dropped it down, and they'll collect it again. Here she comes, Kamoli, the old normal defender. Gets it inside 50. It drops down to the back. And it's collected nicely by the number 11. That's Erin Loghane again. Umpire's blown his whistle. And it might be a free kick here to Hamilton early on, and Jodie Fluitt is going to get the shot on goal.
Yeah, the umpire gave it a throw there. I didn't quite see the incorrect disposal as line. Need to aim for this right goal post.
And she's kicked it first blood to the Wildcats here in the ladies' grand final. What a great start for the girls in black and yellow.
As I mentioned, this Hamilton team is very, very physical. They are a good team, and they're probably the biggest threat to knock the Roos off. The Roos were undefeated all year, but as I mentioned before, Sylvie de Brandebeer, absolute champion of the club, is out, and that is a big out for today. It's a huge hole in this team.
One thing the Wildcats have got a massive advantage in this game is Joanna Rutkowski will play in the ruck. She's got a real height advantage. She's about the tallest female footy player I've seen in Toronto.
And that's the loss of de Brandebeer right there. Normally she's been the ruckman, has a lot of awareness around the ball, very fit athlete, but unfortunately an ankle injury to her helped that out. Let's take another quick look here as we get the play sorted here. No one actually went to get the ball after the goal was kicked, but Kamoli was the one who kicked the goal for the Wildcats there, and they get off to the, sorry, not Kamoli, my apologies, Jodie Fluitt, and they're away early on, 6 plays 1.
Need to, as we were saying before in the earlier Div 2 game, as the ball just rocketed it into the umpire and only takes his head off. But he needed to be able to convert early, and that's what they did, kick straight.
So Rutkowski in the ruck. You would expect that she'll get the taps all day. She does get the tap. She's looking for one of her midfielders. In fact, she went back and got her own footy. She found Jocelyn Halliday. Halliday lost the footy. The Roos player was picked it up straight away, and they lost the footy, holding the ball. And the Wildcats have started this game in a fantastic fashion. They're tackling, they're getting hold of the ball. More importantly, they're winning the hard footies.
That's how they're going to win the game today, Jamie. Their physicality is a big crowd here that's going to ramp up the crowd.
This is Van Sevenant out the back. She goes for a run. She dodges a tackle. She needs to bounce. She nearly ran too far. She did run too far. She forgot to bounce, Drummy.
Oh, she did the Mick McGuan there running down the wing. She actually rammed it straight through the middle of the goals as well. So that would have been a great way to get momentum at the start of the game. Unfortunately, you need to bounce the ball every 10 to 15 metres when you're running with the ball.
So free kick will go the way of the Roos, and they really need to get the ball going back their way. They've only had the one inside 50 so far. And it was that early shot at goal, the first shot at goal of the day. They haven't had it back there since. It's been all the Wildcats. So we just wait again to get the ball back. Perhaps we need to get someone down there to pass the ball back for us.
They are taking their sweet time to get that ball back into play here. It shouldn't take that long, but the clock is ticking away here as Amaral now has the ball for that's Selena Amaral, the other sister. She's going to go down the line. So can the Roos rebound here after a hot start from Hamilton? Ball's gone down. Umpire has called a free kick, and it'll go the way of the Roos. Here they go. Right foot boot, back down that far side line. I tell you what, they don't pay much attention to the commentary side. Can't be taken by Rankin. She's a jet from back home in Australia from the football background, footy netball background. It's gone out of bounds there. It'll be a boundary, either throw-in or it'll be a ball up, I believe, in the Women's League, or a free kick for something I don't know.
Taken too high, just tackled over the shoulder there.
All right, Van Sevenen, she has been prominent early. She flies for that one, can't take it down. Loughnane waiting at the back, goes around on her left foot. She's great on both the right and the left. Mark couldn't be taken there. Backing back, that was Dewhurst. And all the players now milling around the footy. It's a bit of a wrestle, a battle. Who wants it? The umpire wants it, and he'll ball it up.
I tell you what, Hayley Trevine does not like the attention she just got there from that Hamilton player. I think that might have been Kamoli again. You saw the elbow flick back. She's not happy with that. And a free kick for blocking, I believe, has been paid here. I think that might be Nikki Barron, the Irish wonder. She's pretty good with the boot. She's a Gaelic player and a very talented athlete as well. As the ball goes inside 50 for the Roos. Here's an opportunity. Loughnane came through, couldn't get it. Trevine gets tackled, and it's gone back down. Loughnane again. She's going to get plenty of it today. Loughnane goes up high. Barron's underneath it. No mark taken. It's fallen to ground, and Hamilton will mop up nicely, or will they? Under pressure. And a high tackle paid there. Umpire Bryant's paid it, and Drummy's seen something.
Yeah, great shepherd by Alice Dewhurst. In the grand final like this, you allowed Aaron Loughnane with a bit of skill, a bit of more space to kick the ball inside 50, and it's the 1%ers who are going to win you the game today as well.
So Emily Spicer will take the free kick. She has Rutkowski leading. She goes in that direction, and why not? Although it's been pickpocketed. What a good mark that was coming across in front. Plays along straight away. Should have gone back and kicked the goal, perhaps.
She rushed that. Nicola Kerwayne took the great interceptive mark, a bit like an American footballer there. Just came across and took it. I think she kind of got a bit excited, eyes lit up in front of goal and wanted the snap, but had plenty of time there. So just a minor score to the Roos, and we're away in this first quarter.
So take two for Emily Spicer. She can now kick in once again. Rutkowski is often the target, but in fact, she will go out to the far side. She needs to touch it. If it goes out without touching it, it'll be a throw. In fact, it'll be a free kick, but Kiefer did touch it. Looks as though the umpire has pulled out a free kick. It will go the way of the Roos. They pop it up to the top of the square. They're looking for a flyer. A big flyer coming through was Victoria Barron. Barron couldn't bring down the mark. And now the ball again in contested possession. Umpire says, I'll have it. But it's hot footy at the moment, Drummy.
Yeah, Wildcats are having trouble getting out of their defensive 50. It's been down there for a while.
Wildcats with possession. They can clear. It's a bit of a high up and under. Who wants it? There's a couple of players standing underneath it. It's the number 22. I believe that's Patowski. Quick kick down the line. And here is the number 30. A great opportunity for Michelle Greenberg. Greenberg goes out wide. Chasing after it, Lisa Kiefer.
Big
she was
hit.
met heavily. She was really met heavily. And that's one thing we love about the women's footy, perhaps, is they hit each other pretty hard.
I'm going to say it, and I'll say it again. If the Etobicoke Roos are going to win this game, they have to fully account for the physicality that is the Hamilton Wildcats. They've had a couple of close encounters this year. I know they're undefeated, but they are certainly not unbeatable. And they've shown their physicality already, the Wildcats, as the Roos again steam forward. They can get through this one alive. They need to kick some goals. It's Barron with a bit of pace. She let it go. Umpire says play on. She dropped it there. It should have been a free kick to Hamilton as the ball looks to be kicked out of bounds. No, it's going to stay in. Hamilton have got numbers around the ball, chasing back through with a blue Shinto haircut there. Barron couldn't quite catch up. It's going to get chopped off, though, by Amaral. And Amaral, a wheel around on her right, goes to number 11, Loughnane. Loughane's probably 10th touch of the game. It's long, minor score, I believe. It's gone through for a behind. So they're bringing the goals, but no big ones yet.
Good defensive pressure by the Roos as well. Their small forwards in Lee are just keeping the ball in. That's very important. And the Wildcats, as physical as they are, they don't like being tackled either.
Spicer with a quick kick. Unfortunately, she's kicked it straight to the opposition. This will be a flying shot at goal. It will go back to Spicer. And once again, she stands in between the goals and a Kangaroos lead. Spicer, she kicks out to the near side wing, and the mark has been taken. That was a nice mark by Sam Pepper. Pepper goes on quickly, bangs it down the line. There are Kangaroos players waiting across half-back. They quickly soccer it forward. Pepper can go again here. She collects. She backs herself. She goes on the right foot to the middle of the ground. A good, strong mark taken. She wanted to play on straight away. Halliday She did play on straight away. The umpires pinned her.
I'll pay that there. Look, she did run it right across the mark. She took the mark and she just kept running. Ball was knocked out of her hands, and rightfully, I think that should have been a free kick. As the rules, Drummy does not agree with me at all. He doesn't want it. But this is a grand final, Drummy. They've had plenty of time to learn the rules, as the ball has been picked up nicely by the number 33 there, Liz Croc. Croc gets it at the back. It's picked up by Van Sevenont. Van Sevenont gives a wobbly bounce. She collects her own bounce, though. No one's caught up with her. Has a shot. Sprayed it. I don't know if she's even going to get a point for that, or did that hit that post?
At 1 point.
That would have been a great goal. That was almost like Brent Maloney from the Demons many years back.
That was nearly the 2XU goal of the day. She's a really exciting player running. That's the second time she's taken on, as we see here. She's not afraid to take a bounce and run away. She's got an extreme pace. And Barron's not slow, so that's as the Wildcats are going to go inside 50 here.
So this brilliant Wildcats attack continues. Petkowski goes long, and it was well taken at the back. I haven't got number 4. Perhaps who's number 4 for the Kangaroos?
I do not have a number 4. We will find out very soon. So ball is marked very nicely down there by the number 8. That's Maddie Amaral. Amaral with the tape on the ear, just to cover up the old piercing. Ball goes into the middle here, and look at that wall there set up by Hamilton. That's a thick bunch of ladies down there. Ball is back inside. It's going towards the Hamilton goal. It's collected up very nicely by Scott, I should say. I've actually written 34 Scott here, so Scott gets it. And ball's going down. Plenty of players back there. Good mark taken by Lognane. She's got plenty of room. Goes to the boundary lines. Is it going to stay in? No. Out of bounds on the full. That's pretty uncharacteristic. She's been a bit sloppy today, Lognane.
I think probably a bit. Erin wasn't really. There was a great pressure by Van Severen again. She's been fantastic up forward. When she's got the ball, she's running with it. When she doesn't, she's putting on pressure. As the Wildcats, they have got the win in this quarter. So if you're a Rouge supporter, don't be too concerned that they're usually on top, because the Wildcats do have the win behind them.
With Van Severen down forward, she's looking electric. I wonder if they might inject her to the midfield at some stage. She's getting a lot of the footy. Anyway, again, the Roos go back in the same direction. They've kicked it out on the full twice. They need to watch these 1%ers, the Roos.
I'll tell you what, so Roos coach Greg Rue Everett drills this team pretty hard. He would be pulling out what is left of his hair back over there. He would be absolutely filthy on these out in the falls. So hopefully he can rein them in at quarter time and just get those little creases ironed out for their sake. But full credit to Hamilton. They're playing pretty well, but here comes Kerwin, the Irish wonder, out of the middle. Goes down the middle of the ground. She's got Baran playing very closely on Pepper. Pepper gets the win there with a lucky bounce. Tackled by Barron. That should be dropping the ball, nothing doing, and the ball will go back to Hamilton through Croc. Croc down the line. She's got Fluid there, only goal kicker for the game so far. Fluid on ball, high one, should be marked. It is done, and Amaral's got it back there, and they'll settle down, and they'll go back up the middle of the ground. Amaral, right boot, down that line again. Big mark taken, and it's off again. Goes sister to sister. Back into the forward 50. Trevine on a one-on-one. Here comes Kerwayne. Great defence by Hamilton. Have just held up, and they have got a paddock to work with. Good bounce. She's off. It's Erica Scott. Down the guts. Wobbly, wobbly tube towards Van Savant. Won't get it there. I've talked for a million years, and I'm going to pass it over to J-Mac as soon as she gets rid of it here. That was Greensberg, and they're away.
Rutkowski. She can run into an open goal. Rutkowski. The ruck. Can she pop it over the top? She does, and the mark is taken in the goal square. And it's Jodie Fluid once again. And I wonder if she'll put through her second goal.
Tell you what, that wind is doing wonders for those kicks. They're getting a bit under him, and the tube is happening. She's kicked it, and Hamilton are putting the foot down a little bit in this one, although it's only a 2 and a bit goal lead. It is getting a little bit, I wouldn't say panic buttons, but the Roos need to switch on a bit.
Now, Wildcats, I think they have a 2 or 3 goal breeze this quarter, but Jesus, it's exciting footy, J-Mac. I know in the AFL back home, it's a bit boring, but if you want to watch a great game of footy, this is it. Great running, great skills, great physicality by both teams. It's just that the Wildcats are making a little bit more of their opportunities up forward. The Roos have been up in the forward half a lot of the time, but as you can see here, the run by their ruckman over the back, and as you said, Pappy, that wind just pushed it over the top of McNabb, and then the top Wildcats easy goal right in front of the goal.
All right, so back in the middle, Rutkowski, she gets the tap down, but it's the Roos with a player coming through. In fact, in the end, it's been given against the Roos. That's a really big call from the umpire. She needs to come back off the mark here, otherwise it'll be 50. So a quick kick downfield. Van Sevenen has taken the mark. Van Sevenen needs to wheel around quickly before the Roos players get back. She does just that. She pops it up to the hot spot. Who's flying? What a great mark that was, backing back with courage by the Roos player. It looked like Loughnane. It was. That's what she's known for. She's at both ends of the ground at the moment, Drummy.
That's your lead MVP right there, J-Mac, and that's why. That was just courageous and skillful as well.
Very
Great
nicely
work,
done.
yeah. Amaral now trying to clear it out. I tell you what, the Roos are just bombing it away at the moment. I think a throw has been called here. Or maybe a ball
It looks
up.
like a ball up.
Yep, so it'll go back to umpire Canoe here as we'll ball it up. So dying seconds of this first quarter, mostly Hamilton with the scoring. It's 13-3, so they've got a 10-point lead in this quarter. Tapped down by that superior height in the ruckman there. Again, missing Sylvie de Brandebeer, one of the best players on this team, so that's a big out. A big chance for Hamilton to steal this one today. Snapped on the left. A few seconds left in this quarter. Grinsberg goes in and good defense down there. I tell you what, the Amaral sisters have been fantastic so far. Plenty of the ball. And you can see there that Breeze just holds that ball up in the air for a while. Kerwain's got it. It should end any second now this quarter as with time on here. And ball's marked by, that's I think that's Janess, is it? Or it might be Chrissy Lay. Chrissy Lay with a mark. Good overhead. Time could be going at any second now. Big bombing kick going down. Mark needs to be taken Trevine. And the Duck takes one right in front. And she, my oath, has the power to put the Roos back in touch with this kick.
It's going to be right after the sign. I really think the reason this quarter's gone on for a little bit longer is that Sammy Casella usually fetches the ball down in that pocket, but we had to wait a while for the ball to pick up. But this is Amaral's just great at half-back. Beautiful. Chrissy Lee held the ball up as she lines up for goal.
So what you're saying, Drummy, is Sammy Casella's let us down? Oh,
yeah, he's sorry, Pabby. I was just watching whether that went through, but yeah, we needed someone to get the ball there. But Chrissy Lee again, when she had the ball at half forward, she didn't try to just rush it. She held up, waited for Terrain, and a strong contested mark right in front of goal.
So Emily Spicer will do the kicking in once again. And that is the siren. So the end of the first quarter, it was a thoroughly entertaining one. And the final score at the first quarter, perhaps maybe a little unexpected, a lead to the Wildcats.
Absolutely. 0-4-4 plays 2-1-13. So just that 9-point lead. I tell you what, even though the Cats are ahead, the Roos had one more scoring shot. So not bad signs for the Roos. They're in the game in that aspect. But the Wildcats, very good job to them. They just converted on everything and took some good plays. Geez, they've been physical too. Let's take a look at some highlights here. I'll run us through what's happened so far. So as we mentioned, Roos finished top of the ladder, undefeated. Wildcats did show them up early, but that's Fluid there with the first goal of the game. She's actually kicked the 2 goals for the Wildcats. She gets the first one there, and another one will come a little bit later. You can see here the Roos had their opportunities early. A few rush behinds, a few interceptions here, and some high tackles been paid early. But what a good contest to start with. Couldn't have asked for better in the girls' game.
Yeah, the Wildcats have had some standout players. Did you see Emily Spicer? She's been a great rock back up front. She's a beautiful kick, Emily Spicer. I think that's why she takes a kick out. She does short as a big hit. Van Severin has been probably the most electrifying player on the ground with her, with Aaron Lognan. And as we can see here, Spicer again, just rushing over the fence. She's been a rock back down back. Chrissy Lee's been great up forward for the Roos with her defensive pressure. But here's Van Severin, nearly got the X-Blades goal of the day here. It took 2 bounces down the wing and just missed. And then here's a goal here for the Wildcats. They were sensational with Fluid. Smart play, wind going that way, wait at the back, and then just slot a nice sausage roll.
Something I've just noticed as well, another huge out actually for Hamilton is Candice Quan. I've seen her play a few times, rugby background, very strong with the legs and can break a tackle very easily. She's out today as well, so I guess that kind of evens the standings up a bit. They lose a ruckman for a defender, but very interesting matchups if you count those 2 being out.
Yeah, you really can't afford to lose your best players in this AFL Ontario competition. Sometimes these squads just don't quite have the depth that we would maybe like them to have, so if you lose a top player, sometimes it's hard to replace them, Drummy.
Yeah, and Greg Kennedy there at quarter time. Bit of a tough taskmaster. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to say. I think if I were him, I'd be saying, look, it's a 3-goal breeze. Let's not get too excited. It would be nice to get a goal. But geez, we've got a big wind behind us. That wind's got even stronger than it was in the Div 2 game. As you can see, the rain starting to get a little bit of rain as well. So that's where Hamilton, if they were to pray for weather, with their physicality, I reckon they would love wet weather footy. So they're going to be praying for that. Hamilton, they need to probably play a 1 kick behind the play here, 1 player behind the ball. With the wind going that way, 1 back in defence might be someone to just hold the stem, especially Hayley Trevine. she's just about ready to explode, I reckon. She's up forward, she's a little bit angry, and that's when she plays her best footy.
Absolutely. No, we've seen her have absolute monster games. She kicked about 6 or 7 against the Blues earlier in the year. I was lucky enough to be here for the last game of the season where the Roos put the foot down on the Blues. And, yeah, she's a very, very impactful player when she wants to be. So I think Roo, as I mentioned, the coach over there, Greg Everett, would be going through just why they kicked it out on the full so many times. But, yeah, I reckon he'd be whipping them back into line.
Can be a little bit difficult when there's a swirly breeze, especially when the field, as you can see when you're on the screen, the field is a little bit modified for the girls who lack a little bit of trajectory in their kicks, so the field's moved up a little bit, which also narrows the field in, and that's why the ball does go out a lot, especially the wind's it is going towards the city end, but it is blowing also towards the Humber College side of the ground.
Boys, just a quick update. I was just looking on the broadcast there. I did notice Sylvie de Brand to be limping around in the number 9 jersey. So potentially she could be on the team list. She has qualified for the finals. She played enough games. I reckon just to nullify that in the ruck, maybe she just stands in the middle and takes the ruck contest.
Even so, especially with the wind going that way, just put her up forward. Beautiful kick as well.
Yes.
Tall forward. Even if she doesn't take the mark, when you've got Chrissy Lee and Dewhurst crumbing the packs, just get it to ground, because you've got those key backs in Danielle Kamali and Spice, who are very tough and stringent back forward. So all that Sylvie would need to do is get it to ground. But it looks like she's not on for the second quarter. She's obviously got a pretty serious injury if she's not playing in the grand final. But in terms of the better plays for the Wildcats, J-Mac, I think Jodie Fluid up forward's been great, and also Van Severant's been fantastic as well. Yeah,
they're certainly the two girls keeping them with that lead as we go back to the start of the second quarter. Greenberg was waiting out the back, as was Iwaskow. Have I pronounced that correctly, perhaps?
I'm not sure, mate.
It might be Avaskow.
Avaskow, let's go with that. Dewhurst wheels around on the right foot. She bangs it on the right foot. She's trying to find a flying player. That flying player was Trevine. Trevine puts it on the right foot. It's rolling. It's through. The Roos have got their first goal of the grand final. All of a sudden, they are back in the match.
Oh, how about that stuff for the Roos? Just bang, bang. Their two star players there involved, Lognane. And Lognane, you see, she's pumped up. She let team player Lognan, MVP, but let the ball roll through for Trevine to get the credit. But Trevine, I noticed, she did put a big, heavy block to make space for herself. She's angry, and I think she might have got a little bit of a spray by Greg Kennedy at quarter time, Pappy.
Absolutely, yeah. Greg would have got up her a little bit there. Look, I've just also identified in the number 4, we've actually got April Vanderbeek for the Roos, who's playing out there today, one of the new players for the team. But the Roos bounce back here, no pun intended, and 10 plays 13, 3-point lead still to the Wildcats. Ball is out wide. It's Lognane again. Gets it down low. It's Amaral. They've been spectacular, Amaral sisters today. Kerwayne comes in. Tough Hamilton defence there. Don't want to go face first into them. It's Kerwayne again. She uses her body.
Oh!
Trevine comes in with a flying shoulder. She is absolutely frothing at the mouth today, boys. She's angry and she's in there, and a great defensive play there, and the ball up rightfully happening right inside 54, the Roos.
Ever since she copped an elbow from Kamal in the first quarter, she's been absolutely livid.
This is Elisa Kiefer. She managed to get a quick kick out. The Hamilton Wildcats are trying to clear their defensive 50. They can't, though, because the Roos are back in numbers now. Hand pass over the top. It was the no-look hand pass. Unfortunately, there was no one there. Now the Wildcats, they've got numbers at the back. They need to clear. There is a quick clearing kick from Kamoli, but it's straight to the middle of the ground. That's Amaral. Amaral can bomb it back in the same direction. It's up in the air, and a big fly from behind by the Wildcats player. She couldn't bring it down. That looked like Kamoli again. Kamoli's been everywhere at the start of the second quarter. Greenberg now chasing after the footy. Looks as though it might beat both players, and it's rolled out of bounds. You can feel the level going up here, boys.
Oh, I tell you what, they are both hungry. We have a close game. You know what? Through the years we've been watching these teams play, it's been a lot of blowouts. It's good to see something a little bit closer for these teams, and what a great spectacle of footy so far. Good crowd here today too. The sun has held off, and we've had a good little turnout so far. And here we go now. Ball is inside 50 for the Roos again. Down there, that's Janessa Loader and Chrissy Lay. It's cleared out very nicely by Kamoli. She's been good in defence so far for the Wildcats. Inside 50, that's McNabb. My apologies. The Cat McNabb. Chopped off, though. And here come the Hamilton Wildcats through Kiefer. Kiefer now gets the shepherd from the ruckman, Rutkowski. And Kiefer goes inside, and all alone, no opposition at all. Mark is taken down there by Van Sevenant. That's Leah Van Sevenant. And she's going to go back and probably slot her first goal of the game.
Needs to take her time here. She does. I think she's put it through, just waiting on the goal umpire's call. It's a goal, and the Hamilton Wildcats get one back. It looked as though she was going to try and play on there, Drummy, but no need. Go back, take your time, kick the goal.
When you're 10 metres out in front, J-Mac, that's exactly right. Just take it back. But that's when you've got the wind against you, that's what you need to do, like Kiefer did. She ran through the middle, broke the lines, took 2 bounces. Instead of her kick going half forward, she took 2 bounces, ran through the middle, kicked it over the back to advantage to Van Sevenet. As we can see, Kiefer, look at this, beautiful running, and then to have the poise to be able to kick it to Van Sevenet's advantage. That is just champagne football there, J-Mac.
Yeah, it was very, very nicely done from the Wildcats. I'll tell you what, Drummy, I love the size of this ground. This is my sort of ground, because if you kick from 50, you're actually kicking from 15, because that's about my maximum.
I'm with you there, J-Mac.
All right, ball back in the middle.
Oh.
Straight away, the umpire's called holding the ball. That's a little harsh. I believe the player was Nicole Stephanie, who was the tackler. In fact, it was Rankin, you are correct, who was the player who was infringed on. Umpire again, it's called
well
holding
done,
the ball.
Katie Rankin.
Now the Roos can go back the other way. And a quick kick forward. It's a 3-on-1 to the Roos. But the one player back is Spicer. Spicer still going after the footy. A quick kick out of the pack. It may have hit the post, has it? It's hit the post, Drummy. Wow.
Oh, geez, I thought, where did Rankin, a bit harsh, had no prior opportunity. In the rules of AFL, if you've got the ball and you've had no opportunity to get rid of the ball and someone tackles you, you don't usually get a free kick. As we see on the replay here, the Irishman gets it forward. I've seen her at Gaelic football a few times. When she takes a mark, she always plays on, which is very reminiscent of Gaelic football as well.
Speaking of playing on, Spicer, she goes out to the far side wing, and a nice mark has been taken by Sam Pepper. Pepper goes long to a pack of players in the middle of the ground.
Oh,
big strong bump. Wow, Drummy liked that one, and so did I. And it looks as though that ball might just roll out of play. How good was that, Drummy?
Oh, Jacqueline Halliday, what a great hit. Just sweet, fair, wasn't dirty, just in the passage of play. And I don't think the Kangaroo girls like that, but great work there by the Wildcats.
Absolutely. Ball up now and just near the bench work there on the far side of the ground. It's tapped through. Very nicely collected. Lognane almost blew a tyre there. The old hockey play. She does well to recover. Goes inside 50. Trevine's down there. Kerwain's down there. She's going to try and collect. Good defence. I think we might be holding. Yeah, Trevine was holding there. So she's letting her emotions get the better of here, old Hales. And the Duck has given away a free kick, and it'll go the way of Hamilton.
Come on, Umpy. We don't want any soft free kicks today. Swallow the whistle, son. All right, Spicer has got the free kick. She goes out the far side. She has a player. The ball didn't bounce quite properly for her. The Duck, Wayne Carey, comes flying through. She couldn't pick it up, though, and now the Wildcats can break. That was a little bit of heart-and-mouth stuff. The kick wasn't quite right from the Wildcats, but now they can break through the middle. That ball picked up. That looks like Nicole Stephanie. What a big hit that was. Now Van Sevenet runs away with the footy. The umpire let it go. That's fair enough. I don't mind that. Little shove in the back by, this is Flute. Flute plays on. It's a rolling goal. Another goal to the Wildcats. And the girls are up and about on the sidelines, jumping up and down, fists held high.
That was a really good goal from Hamilton. They used the roll on there. I won't lie, Etobicoke got robbed there. That was a holding the ball every day of the week. She went to take the kick. She fresh-airied it, and then the ball was picked up. Should have been a free kick, but nonetheless the call was made, and a good rolling goal from Kamoli.
Yeah, that's the thing. You need a bit of luck in the grand final. That could have bounced either way, but look at that. Dribbled beautifully in the goal umpire in the perfect position for that call out a goal.
Ball back in the middle. This is hot stuff, folks. Don't go anywhere. Nicely picked up in the middle. That was Rankin. Rankin threw it on the boot. Once again, Spicer is waiting at the back. Coming through quickly for the Roos. It's a quick snap at goal. Oh! It's a goal to the Roos, I think, or did it hit the post? It hit the post, Drummy. Unbelievable stuff.
And that can be the difference in a grand final, J-Mac. At the other end, the Wildcats have had a few lucky bounces for a goal, and the Kangaroos have hit the post twice. But Katie Rankin, she's had about 3 or 4 clearances already. She's just such a smooth move, a bit like Simon Black for the Brisbane Lions. She's got clean hands and can just kick beautifully.
I'm going to point something out here, fellas. The Roos are 1-6-12. Hamilton are 4-1-25. So again, more scoring shots, 7 scoring shots for the Roos, only 1 goal.
Just an absolute coach killer here, J-Mac. I've called it before. It amazes me how many times people kick over the mark. You see that square on TV? If you kick out of that after a behind, it's a free kick.
All right, ball up. A chance for the Roos. Can they squeeze it through for their second goal? The ball's still in contest. Who wants it? They all want it. The umpire wants it. And we'll have another ball up.
What an entertaining game of footy so far, fellas. I don't know if we
Brilliant.
fully expected this going in. Hamilton have stood up here. They're playing against the powerhouse that is the Roos club this year, and they look like they're going to
Oh,
big
Chrissy Lee.
Chrissy Lay comes in and just lays out that defender there, or I should say, yeah, defender for Hamilton, and well done to her. Earned a free kick. She's given her a bit of lip too, and Lognane looks like she's earned herself a free kick after that frustration there from the number 20, Jacqueline Halliday. So Lognane, as we mentioned, league MVP. Husband's a handy player for the Toronto Eagles in Div 1, and Lognane just settles herself. They need a champ like her in their club just to steady and put one through the big ones. It's a good-looking kick, but it's gone wide, and I tell you what, they are doing themselves no favours, the Roos.
Jacqueline Halliday, she put a massive hit on one of the Roos girls before, and Chrissy Lee said, you know what, we're not going to take that. And she gets one straight back on Jacqueline Halliday. A bit of offensive pressure here. It's been a high-skilled game, but highly physical game as well. It's been fantastic, J-Mac.
Absolutely. It's been action-packed stuff. The girls are certainly putting on a show for us. It looks as though Spicer won't kick out on this occasion. It'll be a big, long-looking kick out to the near side pocket. Girls throwing themselves at the ball and at each other. The ball was taken away on that occasion by Amaral. Amaral threw it on the left boot. Still battling for the ball, the players. Van Sevenant, she'll go for a run. She likes to back herself. In fact, she bangs it on the right boot. Coming forward to attack the footy was the Kangaroos player. She went in hard, she went in low, and she got the footy. That was very nicely done. Now ball out the back. Chasing after it is Amaral. Amaral was in there again. This is hot stuff. Van Sevenant tries to get a quick kick on the left. It didn't go very far. Lognane, she picks it up. She bangs it on the right boot. Who wants it? A big fly from a Wildcats player, not taken. I believe that was Kiefer. Still, what a big strong tackle by Van Sevenant. She's been in everything so far. This is hot stuff, folks. Everyone wanting the ball and nobody getting a clean possession. It's still going. Surely the umpire's going to ball it up here, lads.
I don't know if the umpire swallowed his whistle or something, but this play just keeps going, and Rankin gets it out the back of the pack there. Good Aussie player, goes out wide. I tell you what, oh wow, hit off the ball there. We'll come back to that in a sec as Kerwayne runs forward. That was a dirty hit off the back of the ball. It's got to keep going. That's Trevine. She's going to snap around, and no worries, thanks for coming. Goal to the Roos, and they deserve that one.
That was fantastic work by Chrissy Lay, who set that up. But she's not going to get a lot of the ball, but her defensive pressure is fantastic. She put a shepherd on. She absolutely smashed, but it slowed down the Wildcats player to make the tackle. Awesome work. And then Trevine, if she gets the ball inside 20 yards, well, good luck. That's a goal nearly. You can write it down every time as we watch the replay. Great shepherd, Chrissy Lee. That's all we need to do. Comley's a big... a very physical player, and to just be able to just give a bit of space to Lognan and then Trevine, just a snap over there. And this is just great footy, J-Mac. Loving it.
Game on, boys. Game on. And we should also say game on, girls, as the ball goes up in the middle. They are really putting on a show for us here, the ladies, in the AFL Ontario Women's Grand Final. Umpire Canoe has called a holding the woman, I should say, free kick. So,
A bit... what I was just thinking is that they're not the umpires are holding the whistle, letting it play, but for some of the little bit of holding onto the jersey, they'll pay it straight away today. So just something to note for the girls.
Wildcats can go back the other way. Quick kick forward. Diving for the ball was Thomason. She couldn't take the mark. Umpire thought maybe there was a push in the back, but he let it go. Now diving in for the ball, that was Ivan Oskow. She couldn't pick it up. Umpire still letting it go. He swallowed his whistle again. All right, now a quick kick comes out the back. I don't mind letting it play for a while, but if there's a ball up, just call it. There we are out on the far side. That's Kiefer. Kiefer chasing after the footy. She will soccer off the ground. I think it might run out of play. It's right up against the boundary line, and it does, Paps.
What a cracking game of footy as the ball rolls out of bounds out there. Both teams going hard at it. I think we need some more. I actually don't mind that the umpire's letting it roll. It is going a fair while, but he's letting him play. I'm not sure if you can't see it or not, but definitely a very close contest as the ball is being contested along that boundary line out there. Seems to have stayed in. Big long kick down the line. Mark not taken. And ball, big tackle. That is a high tackle. Trevine is hurt. And that is a very reckless tackle. I told you these Hamilton girls would come in hard. And Trevine just gets in her face there. I tell you what, you do not want to get in between those two girls. That would be a war. As you'll see, there's a hit here. You can see Trevine was brought down onto her back there. And it would have hurt. It would have knocked the wind out. But they go again, the Rouge. So they're inside 50, which is what they want. And Hamilton are holding strong. Umpire says play on. And ball is marked, and they'll get away with it. Sorry, it's not marked. I got ahead of it. I spent it before I had it. And you can see there's the Roos chop it off, and they'll go back in. They're Amaral. High-looking kick. Bouncing. Lognane. She's got support from Chrissy Tricks. Lognane. high kick straight down the throat of a Hamilton defender, and they've done well back there, the Wildcats.
It was nicely done by Emily Spicer. She's been pretty important today, hasn't she, Drummy?
Just a solid, well-skilled defender. Just a country footballer, we would say in Australia. Just very reliable.
That Spicer goes across to the Rutkowski. Certainly the height advantage in that clash. She takes the mark and she will go out wide to another player leading. Looks as though that's the number 32, Toth. She couldn't collect. Ball picked up now. That was nicely done by Amaral. Over the top, but Rutkowski's there. She manages to get a touch on the ball to play it away from the defenders. Now she's tackled. She has to get rid of it. That has to be holding the ball, and it is. Just too much prior opportunity there, Paps.
Good call, J-Mac. Yeah, she had plenty of time. She had the shepherd on there, but as soon as she felt that contact, she just collapsed like a cheap chair and got the free kick paid against her. Going down the line now and back inside 50 other Roos. Hamilton holding very strong down there. Play lets it go. Geez, it's a tight, contested game. Very hot footy, hot potato down there. Ball's come out. Not collected just yet. No clear disposals. There's getting ragdolled down there. That's Janessa Reload, a tough unit as well. Amaral gets brought down. An interesting call there for holding the ball. Amaral didn't even have it for a second, but the umpire calls it a free kick, and it's going back Hamilton's way.
All right, so an opportunity for Hamilton to reload here. What have you noticed, Drummy, with regards to the way Hamilton are playing at the moment?
Obviously, great mark, Aaron Lognan, as they rebound off 50 and kick inside 50.
All right, we'll get back to that, Drummy. That was well done by Loughnane, and she goes forward, looking for the duck. The duck goes on the right foot. She's gone long. She could have kicked the goal. The player tried to mark it. It would have gone through. In the end, she rushed her behind. How costly could that be?
I'm not sure if it was going to roll over the line, but geez, when you're looking back tomorrow and you're watching the tape, you're thinking, oh, geez, that was the one we should have taken. She probably did make the right decision in trying to mark it. She was probably another 6 yards, and then I think what she thought, she did a Malcolm Blight and kicked it through the two wrong sticks. But,
yep. No, I think you're right there. She made the right decision, very unselfish from Trevine. Had Kerwayne streaming in and just unfortunate not to take the markers. Hard to take those on the fly. The ball's back out top. It's very nicely marked back there, but that'll be half-time. So Hamilton have surprised the Roos. They've come out and they've got a 4-1-25 to 2-8 lead. Now we are going to have a shot on goal here. I'm not going to say she's going to make the distance here. It might be a bit of a stretch. I don't even think I can kick that far. But
speaking of Malcolm Blight, this is about his distance, I think.
Mate, Malcolm Blight can do this in his sleep. As this is Amaral now, Maddie Amaral, who's going to go back and have a shot again. I don't know how we're going to go, but
how far out is she?
She's about 55.
She's easily 50-something, and I think it's going to go about 20. And bang.
Yep. Let it roll through. Oh, well done, Hamilton. It can roll through. I've seen that before where someone's, it's bounced, but if it rolls through, it counts. But what a great first half of footy, J-Mac.
Unbelievable, entertaining from start to finish. It's been thoroughly entertaining. We will be back very soon for all the highlights of what was a fantastic opening half. It's the Wildcats by 5. See you soon, folks.
This is the worst I've seen him play all year.
Hamilton.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Humber South, where it's the Hamilton Wildcats who have jumped down to a 4-1-25 to 2-8-20 lead. Very physical game, very in-tight game. You can see the Roo crew there just going through their paces. Greg Everett. You can see Emil Dragon Stardom just having a chomp on the Dwyer there and just getting it done over in the Roo side of things. But what a great half of footy, I should say. Let's go back and take a bit of a look. It all started with Jodie Fluitt, who kicked the first goal of the game, got a nice mark up close, and Hamilton came out of the block strong. They kicked the first couple, and it was a tale of inaccuracy for the Roos early.
You need to make the most of both the inside 50 entries and your shots. We've had a bit of bad luck, the Roos, while the Wildcats have had a bit of bad luck. She's been fantastic. Van Severan, she's been all day. She's been both defensive and forward. A great goal there by the Kerwin. She's been very attacking up forward. Probably just needs to compose herself when she takes a mark. She can take a break. Great hit there by Jacqueline Halliday. She has been fantastic with her physical presence. But Jodie Fluitt, not only has she been very dangerous up forward, she's made the most of every opportunity. She's kicked 2 or 3 goals straight, hasn't wasted her opportunities. And here's Kerwin again. She's just that little snap over across, clean hands, and that's the big difference. But the story of a little bit of Roos quarter there, J-Mac. They've had a bit of bad luck. They've rushed a few. They've hit a few posts, and that's been a bit of the difference between the Cats and the Roos.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty even so far, to be honest. Even though the Kangaroos are down on the scoreboard, they've had just as much of the footy, if not more. Seen a couple of those massive hits. Chrissy Lay was involved in one. There was another big one before that. In fact, I think she was involved in both of them. So that's always good to see the girls going in hard, hitting each other hard, Paps.
Very important stat here we noticed during the half. Scoring shots are 10-5 in favour of the Roos. So they've had 5 more scoring shots than Hamilton, but yet still find themselves 5 points behind. A 2-8 scoreline will do that to you.
Yeah, I think that comes down to the defensive pressure of the Wildcats as well. No, Erin Longden, who's usually never missed a target, has missed a target a few times just purely from the defensive pressure from the likes of Halliday. Also, Kamali's been fantastic with her pressure, and also Van Sedmeren as well.
Yeah, so often we see in these grand finals, if you don't take the most of your chances, they can be hard to come by, particularly in the second half when the level goes up, both teams thinking we could get ourselves a premiership here. You've got to make the most of those chances, particularly early in the match when they're possibly not as tough as they are later on.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like a momentum killer than holding in defence, get it to your foreline, and then hitting the post or getting it behind. That's with the Wildcats. They've been fantastic in just making the most of every opportunity. Been a little bit lucky, but I think one of my, probably in terms of our best favourite players, would be Jodie Phillips being great up forward, Emily Spicer and Danielle Kamali being fantastic down back, and then Van Sedmeren just all over the ground's been fantastic. For the Roos, Chrissy Lay's been fantastic up forward, Caddy Rankin in the middle, and also obviously Erin Logden, the lead MVP.
All right, nicely done there, Drummy. Don't forget, folks, you can go to the website rogerstv.com/Toronto Dub Request if you would like to order a copy of today's game or any of the footy games or any of the games on Rogers TV, whatever you like, any sport you like. And no doubt that would make a fantastic present for mum, dad, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, maybe even grandparents, Drummy.
Well, you can tell me that I can watch the Ontario Soccer League as well. Is that right, J-Mate?
Absolutely. You can hear me commentating. There you go. It's a special treat for you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this bunch of ads. We'll be back with the second half, which should be an absolute belter right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Humber College campus right here in Toronto. It is time for the second half between the Wildcats and the Kangaroos, the Ontario Women's AFL Grand Final. And so far, it's been a very entertaining start to this game as the Duck kicks it forward, but it was nicely taken there. Coming through strongly was Kamali. Kamali backs herself through the middle, but she's kicked it straight to Chrissy Lay, who was standing all on her own. It's not Chrissy Lay, it's Rolanda. She goes back the other way, gives a kick, and now that was well taken by Spicer.
Ooh.
Spicer backed herself, but she was tackled a little high. Umpire let it go. Coming through quickly was Locknane. Locknane with a quick kick on the left boot. She couldn't find her teammate, and now ducking out the back. That was very nicely done by the Wildcats player. It looked like Colleran. Colleran got a quick kick forward. That looked like a push in the back for Van Sevenen. She didn't get it. She goes back. She tackles. Quick kick to the middle. The player plays on straight away. That's Lisa Kiefer. Kiefer was run down. That has to be holding the ball, and that was prior opportunity.
What a tackle there from Maddie Amaral. It was a really good job there. They were almost away, the Wildcats. Van Sevenen got unlucky not to get a free kick just before, but the Roos are holding on tight.
Whoa.
Oh, Rankin is slung there. Didn't actually have the ball, so she'll earn herself a free kick. And the Roos will go back in. Rankin has been very quiet today. She's normally a bit of a gun.
The thing with Caddy Rankin, you never know. All of a sudden, she's got 20 kicks. She's in and under, so she doesn't do all the flashy things, but she's just so clean. As Chrissy Lay gets it, oh my, That is a very... She got the kick. What do you reckon there, J-Mac?
Yeah, look, she was tackled with the footy.
Yeah.
She lost it, and then I think after it bounced, she got a socket to it.
Yeah, I think it hit the ground.
If she kicked it before it hit the ground, she might have got away with it.
I
But
thought she kicked it before it hit the ground, so anyway.
not to worry. Emily Spicer will take the kick. She's had a ton of possessions today. We can't count half of them because half of them have been kick-outs from behinds, and they don't count. That's why you got to kick it yourself and get an extra posse. Kick down the line, and it will go straight to Erin Loughnane. Loughnane turns around, use that speed and skill of hers, bangs it long. There's a flyer in the goal square, and the mark's been taken. And that is an important moment for the Kangaroos. If they kick this, they will take the lead for the first time in the match. And what a big moment that is, Paps.
Now, let me just have a look at that. That is a number 18 going back with the fly, taking a mark. That looked a bit like Wayne Carey on Stephen Silvani in 1999.
As you see in the replay, look, if it comes up on screen, see a little nudge just there by Hayley Trevine, and that's just experience. Getting in the right position as she does, but nah, didn't quite make the distance, so I'll get the 1 point.
Right, so in the end it was a point. I'm not sure she hung onto the ball for that long. It looked like a mark, but then on the replay she fumbled it, but that's okay. I'm glad for the umpies to pay the girls when they make a good effort. They get hands on the footy as the kick goes out wide, and that looks like Greenberg. Yeah, she did. She was like picking apples in the country. Greenberg, she got a hand pass out, and now the ball is taken by Halliday. Halliday bangs it on the right boot, looking for Van Sevenant, but cutting across was Van der Beek. She takes the mark. Across half back, Van der Beek, she'll go straight down the line. That's disciplined stuff. You don't want to be kicking across goal from that position. Now a quick soccer through the middle. That looked as though it was a very high hit. I think umpire Canoe will have a little chat to the girl. Just watch out for those bumps.
Roos are looking a little bit rattled here. They've come out of this half-time break. I reckon they would have got some stiff words from Coach Everett, and they're just... It's not all going their way, so they're laying a few big hits, and that's a free kick to Hamilton as they go inside 50 here. Ruckman doesn't want to get down and dirty there, so she'll stay up high. Ball's on the far side from the commentary position. That's a throw. I don't know what happened there.
It was a throw.
Called it a throw.
Interesting. A little bit of a brain fade there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see the sun's come out as well, boys. That's good news. It was a little overcast at the start of this game, but the girls now playing in bright sunshine. Van Sevenant. She will kick. She will kick long, and she's got a big booming kick. What a good kick that was, but the mark couldn't be taken by Flute. The players tearing after the footy now. Roos and Wildcats. The Roos have got a 3-on-2 here. They should work it out through Loughnane. They do. She throws it on the inside out. Banana straight down the wing. It probably might go out of play here, although it's kept alive by the duck. That was nicely done by Trevine. Trevine, she went to ground though. It was a good tackle. Now Wildcats with the numbers through the middle. This will now be Scott, Erica Scott. She lost the footy. It's a hot footy. Who wants it? Here comes Spicer. Spicer, she lost it as well. No clean possession for the time being here, boys. Another strong tackle, down she goes. Everyone going hard at the footy, and that tackle rewarded. Unlucky Paps, he doesn't look too happy.
Oh, look, mate, I don't know. I don't like that call at all. She had no time. I think Drummy's with me on this one.
She got rid of the footy, Pappy. I don't really see... he didn't have the perfect view, but great work. Katie Rankin's always in and under the footy. Clean hands as the Wildcats go into the forward 50.
Phantom call there made, unfortunately, against Rankin, but not much you can do about it. Ball's down low. It's Kamoli who falls to ground there. Hamilton just pressing here. They get the first one. I'll tell you what, the Roos are in big trouble. They've looked hot today. That is holding the ball every day of the week, umpire. Great tackle down there.
And 50.
And 50. I think there might have been a bit of lip there. So 50-metre penalty, and it's going to go the way of the Roos.
Madison Emerald again in the same spot of the ground, hanging on for dear life, and that is just a fantastic tackle. She's done that twice in 2 minutes and saved 2 goals.
I've got to say, Maddie Emerald is probably my player for the game so far.
Been brilliant so far. The kick goes forward. It's up nice and high. Players all flying for the ball. It was a bit of a fresh air swing from everybody. Now an opportunity to clear, and that was well done, kicking it forward by Kamoli, and in goes hard at the footy. Kamoli, she laid a bump. She was second to the footy though. The Kangaroos girls, they want it just a little bit more at the moment. The Kangaroos are swarming, but the Wildcats come back at them. Now they can go back the other way, but there's only Kangaroos up the back there, Paps.
They've dropped Loughnane back, which is not a bad idea at this stage of the game. Hamilton are coming pretty hard right now, and they're going to do well here. It's Trevine. Trevine, what's happened here? We've got a free kick out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on here.
Perhaps I just want to make a point about that previous 50-metre penalty.
Sure.
When the ground is severely shortened, shouldn't it be maybe a 20 or a 30-metre
I
penalty?
think it is a 30.
Okay, maybe it was.
I've noticed that the Roos stars are starting to step step up in Lognan and Trevine, and especially Katie Rankin in the middle. She's getting a lot of ball, getting the handballs out with clean hands, and obviously Maddie Emerald as well. But not sure. I think there was a bit of shepherding off the ball by Chrissy Lay when Trevine was trying to take the mark.
This is Nicole Stephanie looking for Rutkowski. She flies high but couldn't take the mark. She probably could have gone two-handed. That looked to be possibly a high tackle. Umpire let it go. That was taken by Victoria Barron. Barron banged it on the boot. Coming through the middle with good speed and skill is Kiefer. Kiefer continues to run after the footy. She sockers to herself. Still she goes, Kiefer. Can she pick up here and go for a run? Still Kiefer. She overruns it. After all that hard work, she left it behind. Now the Roos players come in, and they've got a few more numbers around the ball now, the Roos. And they can run it away here. What a good opportunity now for the Roos Paps.
Big time, but unfortunately for them, it's chopped off down there. Very nice mark taken down there by Sam Pepper. And Pepper will go back the other way for the Wildcats. They've really got to get on the scoreboard soon. They've got 8 minutes left in this third quarter. Just a 4-point lead in this game. It's 21 plays 25.
Just some very exciting plays from the Wildcats. I know Kiefer, though she didn't pick the ball up clean, she's so exciting down the wing when she goes, as well as Scott. They're both so exciting to run all the way down the length of the field and kick it inside 50.
All right, opportunity now for the Roos to go back the other way. Loughnane getting another kick. She's been everywhere today. She's my best on ground. Surely, boys, you agree with me. We'll find out soon. This looks like
Emerald,
a big...
Madison Emerald again.
It is Emerald again. She's the other contester for the player of the game, but it was well taken by Emily Spicer. Spicer has a runner which looks as though it's the number 14, Nicole Stephanie. She ignores her and goes back the other side. What a big strong tackle that was. The Roos player had it. She was taken down immediately by Sam Pepper. Now the ball through the middle. This is a great opportunity for Erica Scott. Scott bangs it on the right boot. This is Greenberg. She has Rutkowski running forward. I wonder if she'll give it to her, but will she back herself and run? She does. She have a bounce, but it was a bit of a sloppy bounce. Now she's run down. That should be holding the ball, umpire.
Katie Rankin is just lifting in this premiership quarter.
Big time play by Katie Rankin. Just put the pressure on there. It was holding the ball. And Nicola Kerwain's got the ball right in the middle here. She's going to settle them down a bit. A little bit of frivolity in these girls at the moment. They've got to settle it down a bit. High looking kick. Goes to ground. No one got fist to ball or hand to ball. It goes to ground again. Falling into her back. It should be a free kick to Hamilton there. Going down hard. There was Ali Dewhurst. She's been quiet today. It's Chrissy Lay on her birthday. Puts one through the big ones. And that's a goal.
Happy birthday, Chrissy Lay. She's been fantastic today. She doesn't usually get all the skills. She's usually just her defensive pressure, but how about the weave? She weaved in a telephone box there as she took the sidestep there out of a telephone box, and then the inside torpy straight over the goal umpire's head, and the Roos have hit the lead for the first time today.
So the girl from Perth, Australia has slopped one through, and I reckon her boyfriend on the sideline there, former goal umpire, got relieved of his duties this week, but Sammy Casella would be happy with that one. So well done, Chrissy. Good job.
Yeah, I've seen them both play, and I think Chrissy's got Sammy covered for pace and skill.
All over him.
Absolutely.
Very good call there, J-Mac. So ball back in the middle of the ground here. Umpire throwing it up in the middle. Tapped down by the superior height in that ruckman there, the number 15. That would be Rutkowski. Rutkowski, but it's clearly picked up by Loughnane. Loughnane now down the line. It's not marked by anyone. Not a lot of marks taken today, so when they are, this is Van Sevenen. She's been spectacular today. Van Sevenen on that right boot, wheeling around. High kick, but just Amaral back there. Her and Spicer have been generals in their respective ends this week, or so I should say today. Ball flying back into the middle. Players jostling for it there. Nothing doing just yet. Kerwain's near the pack. Lougnane's down there for Etobicoke. And they've seen a free kick. The arm went up and they've called it. And it's a free kick to Loughnane.
Drummy, didn't like that one?
No comment.
Okay, fair enough. Loughnane, she will get yet another possession. I think that must be in the 20s for her. She bangs on the right boot. Surely not another 50-metre penalty. And that just absolutely kills grand finals. Unless it's absolutely obvious. Umpies, don't do it.
I mean, she ran over the mark. I don't know. You need to set the mark clearly.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's the line where you've got to draw it. It's one of those things where if the umpire gives you clear instructions a couple of times and you step that mark, it's a 50-metre penalty. But if a player isn't 100% sure where the mark is and it's within a few seconds of it happening, it really should be let go. But the Roos get the score and they've just broken away to a couple of goal and a bit lead.
Yeah, that's a killer. Those 50-metre penalties, or in this case, a 30-metre penalty, it just really hurts sides, doesn't it? You've got them in a position where they have to have a long shot at goal, and the difference is all of a sudden a shot from the goal square, Drummy.
Yeah, well, look, it's just been the star players. Those two girls there, Katie Rankin and Erin Loughnane, it just lifted in here in this third quarter, and that's why they call it the premiership quarter, boys. As obvious as the Roos, when the game needed to be won, those stars, Maddie Emerald as well. I'll give a shout out to her sister as well, Salim. She took a great mark in defence to stop a very dangerous Wildcat play into Fort 50, took a strong mark, and then that's what was the rebound to get the goal. So the Wildcats, can they get a goal with the win here before three-quarter time? It's almost vital.
Ball back in the middle. Rutkowski will fly. This time
Rankin.
she didn't win the tab. What a good play that was. Coming through quickly was Rankin. She was taken down though. Umpire didn't like what he saw. Is he called holding the ball?
It's called a throw.
It's called a throw.
I think that's the right call. She had plenty of time, and just as she went to ground, it spilled out of her right hand. So that's a good bit of pressure there. And while she looked like she'd broken away, the free kick was against Rankin there. So they'll go back out towards commentary side here. That's Amaral, the other man, Amaral. Both have been great. That's Selena. She's dropped it, and umpire Canoe's given her a free kick away, and it's given it straight to Erica Scott. So Scott now, outside of her range, she'll be looking for something a little close. She's got a runner out wide, ignores her. Tap down, big fly down there from Lognane. She's very handy in defence. Lognane is being wrapped up by Fluid and Kamoli down there for Hamilton, and they'll clear out now the Roos. They'll go to the middle of the ground, but it's all Wildcats. Need to use their numbers before the Roos get there. They don't, and Trevine wraps her up. She's dropped it, and rightfully so. That's a holding the ball. Trevine's got it middle of the ground, J-Mac.
All right, so Trevine will look to bang it downfield. All the players have to run back. They all flooded into the certainly the attacking half of the Wildcats. Now they all get back. There are numbers back. Backing back with courage. That was Kamoli. Kamoli couldn't take the mark. In fact, it was De Brandebeer. So I've got De Brandebeer. No, she's off the field. It was Amaral. Anyway, ball out the back. Roos with a chance. Can they kick a goal here? This would be a massive goal. I think she's kicked it, and she has. And now the Roos kick clear.
That's the X-Blades goal of the day, J-Mac. She was under a bit of pressure. Had a back to the goals, clean pick-up, snapped it overhead, and the Roos, against the wind, are getting some handy goals here, Pappy.
Very, very handy. I tell you what, they've worked it out. They had a very hard opening half. The Hamilton team came out very strong, but with the likes of Nicola Kerwayne down there, she's going to get those every day of the week.
So excited. She's got such clean hand skills. I guess she gets that from a Gaelic background. It's a beautiful kick. And the Roos are just running away with it.
So the Wildcats in big trouble. They need to respond straight away here. They're under pressure. The Roos are coming hard. They've all of a sudden found their radar. They're kicking straight. Can the Wildcats get hold of the footy and get it going forward before three-quarter time? Not long left, folks. Kick across the ground. Another good opportunity for that previous goal scorer. Can she pick up cleanly? She does. She needs to kick it. She does kick long, but it's only Spicer back on the last line of defence, and we've seen that a few times today, boys.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times where they just bomb it long, and Spicer just has that separation on her matchup and just takes that uncontested mark on the chest as Rutkowski drops an open mark out there. So she's been fantastic today, Spicer, as they'll get it through Kamoli here on the far side. Hamilton, they need a goal before the last quarter siren. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves out of this game going in. And they go long now. The Roos have rebounded back. That's Vicky Barron. Vicky Barron, the blue Shinto, goes to the top of the square. Look out for Lognane. Drops down. Spicer's there, using her time. Lognane's a tough customer to deal with, though. She gets brought down without it. Umpire says keep going. Spicer responds well. Barron's got time. Reloader's there as well. They'll have plenty of time to regather. And if they use it quickly, they've got 1 minute here, the Roos, if they want to take another bigger lead. Hamilton have an opportunity. That's Grinberg. Grinberg down the middle, straight down the throat of one of the Amarals. And they'll go back inside 50 now. Amaral with a wobbly looking kick. It's fallen over to Kerwin. Kerwin on the right boot. She's kicked a minor score.
Gee, that was a golden opportunity, wasn't it, Drummy?
Just for three-quarter time to really bury home as the three-quarter time sirens rung. As you can see on the screen, it's getting a little bit dark, cloud, so it might rain here. So a two-goal lead here at three-quarter time might just be enough for the Roos. However, Hamilton, with their physicality, might just be getting a little bit tired. The Roos, with their skill and fitness and the hard training that Greg Kennedy's done with them over the year, might be running over the top with them. In terms of their better players for the Roos, I would have to, their stars have lifted. Gerwin has been fantastic. Aaron Logden's been fantastic. Caddy Rankin had a magnificent third quarter there, J-Mac.
Yeah, very, very impressive stuff. No doubt the Roos, they were the favourites at the start of the day. They won last year's premiership. And they have really thrown down the challenge in the third quarter. They were just a little second to the footy in the first quarter, but they certainly rebounded in the second. And now an excellent third quarter as we take a look at the highlights A couple of big hits, some strong tackles, but more importantly, some important goals to the Roos in that quarter, Drummy.
Yeah, Hayley Trevine there. What a beautiful mark. Spice has been fantastic back there, so they did a nice contested mark on her. It's fantastic. Some big hits there. Gerwin's been fantastic. Great credit there by the Hamilton to have over the ball, but Chrissy Lee on her birthday stepped her way out of a phone box and then kicked a beautiful goal, and then she gets herself a nice little birthday present for the day. As you can see, Madison Amaral, she's been fantastic. Those 2 tackles at the centre half back honestly were the turning point in the game. Hamilton could have scored 2 goals from there, but that was a 50-metre penalty to Erin Lognan there, and she said, really been a lift here in the third quarter, and then this was just the icing on the cake in the third quarter for Gerwin. Just a clean hand, snap it over her shoulder, and then give the Roos a 2-goal lead, J-Mac. In terms of the better plays for the Wildcats, Spice has been fantastic. The last rock in defence. Van Seven was good, a little bit quieter in that quarter. Grinsberg got a few possessions as well, and but Danielle Kamali was pretty good down back. They really need the guys like Fluid up forward, and Halliday, who had a good first half, had a quieter third quarter to lift as well.
Don't forget, folks, if you want to order a copy of today's game or any game you see on Rogers TV on the Sport, you can catch it at rogerstv.com/Toronto Dub Request. Get on that website. You can order a DVD. We'll be surely to get it out to your house, and you can watch it for old time's sake. You can watch yourself maybe running around kicking the footy maybe.
Yeah, I know one of probably the best games I've seen all year was Ottawa v Toronto Eagles. If I know the Ottawa boys, if they're watching, order that and see a 5-goal comeback in the last quarter early in the year against potentially the OAFL premiers today, J-Mac.
Well, yeah, we will see the Eagles in the final. I play for the Eagles, so I don't particularly want to talk about that game.
Yeah,
We've tried to wipe that day from our memory banks, but
yeah.
no, Ottawa certainly deserved the win that day. They just ran over the top, but funnily enough, that particular day was the day that sort of fired that Eagles club into the grand final, and it was the pain that they continue to use to continue to play well. Ball back in the middle. More importantly, let's talk about the Kangaroos and the Wildcats. The final quarter. Who wants the premiership more? At the moment, it's the Kangaroos who are leading it. Tough footy earned there by Amaral, I believe it was. No, it was Reloader. Still a ball in contest. And the umpire will ball the ball up. So big tap, Rutkowski went up. She was battling with the number 5, that was Barron. Quick kick out to the far side wing. It's a foot race. The girls chasing after the footy. The ball was collected very nicely there by Nicola Kerwin. And now it's still in possession. Players all milling around the footy, and the umpire says, I'll have it. Not a bad start to this final quarter.
Yeah, the Kangaroos have not been intimidated by the Wildcats. I think that was really important as the girls contest here for the ball up, J-Mac.
They do contest, and the Kangaroos won the tap in the end, and it will go out to Kerwin again. She gets a quick kick on the left foot. There's a player all on her own standing in the middle of the ground. That's Locknane. She's not a player that you want standing on her own if you're a Wildcats fan, but in the end, she messed it up a little bit. The hand pass didn't quite find the body. Locknane, she's got one in the back. The umpire let it go. She put her hands up. She played for it. It doesn't matter. She comes out the back of the pack. She goes for goal. It should be a mark in the goal square, and it is, and it's Chrissy Lay who could kick a second goal on her birthday. And this could just about seal it. What do you reckon, Drummy?
She's pretty good, and she's a pretty good kick, Chrissy. She tried to coerce the umpire, and I think she marked it in the goal square. The goal umpire's, hang on a minute, get on the angle here. Chrissy, right goal post, and the wind will take it back around for you.
Not a done deal here. She needs to do just like Drummy said, stick it out to the right. She's kicked it through. What a big goal that is. And the Kangaroos kick another goal clear. You just sense the Wildcats now are getting a little behind the game, Drummy.
That's why the Roos have been undefeated all year, J-Mac. They just got a bit of experience here, and Erin Lognan, that's why she's the lead MVP. Kicks the ball to advantage right on the chest of Chrissy Lay, and then she kicks a beautiful drop punt, kick the sausage roll, and it's going to be really hard for the Wildcats to come back here because it is probably a 3-goal breeze going towards the city end where the Roos are kicking. Chrissy Lee, she is pumped up, ready on her birthday with that. Look at those fire in her eyes there, J-Mac.
She'll be happy, Chrissy. She's got her own fan cheer squad here today from Aussie X, who she works with. They're all come down to watch her play, and she's putting on a show for them with 2 goals. Ball back in the middle. Now the Wildcats, it's becoming desperate stakes for them. They have to get hold of the footy. They can't on this occasion. It's taken away by Amaral. Amaral on the right boot going down forward, and she's found the marking Nicola Kerwin. Kerwin, she goes to another player who's all on her own. That's Barron. Barron plays on straight away. She should have gone back and kicked the goal. In the end, she was tackled. The ball will go back the other way. Now the Wildcats with an opportunity, but there's a wall of Kangaroos defenders who have walled up across the forward 50. They get it back again, but now an opportunity for Kamoli. Kamoli can go back the other way. Here come the Wildcats. It's a 4-on-1. The Wildcats have to get hold of the footy. That should be a throw. She threw it up and tapped it with the same hand, and that's a throw every day of the week, Drummy.
Great call, J-Mac. Yep. Just that she had the one arm tied. Great tackle there by Reloader. Had no other choice but to call the ball. Good decision, umpire.
So Reloader will go back and load up. She does on the right boot. It's high. Rutkowski is there. She flew. Couldn't get a hand on it. Player waiting at the back, trying to get hold of the footy was Halliday. Halliday was tackled, and that's holding the ball. She had enough opportunity.
Caddy Rankin earning herself Norm Smith recognition here. She's having a great second half.
I think she might have just about sealed it. Anyway, play goes on. Opportunity for Kamoli. Kamoli spinning out of trouble. She gets the hand pass, but it's taken quickly by Barron. Barron bangs it back into the forward 50. That should have been a free kick to Spicer. It is. The umpire said it was a little high. So Emily Spicer will go back and take the kick. She needs to kick long and strong, probably to the boundary here, Drummy. The last thing she wants to do is kick across goal.
She's a beautiful kick, though. So she likes to go short mostly, as she's done here on this. Oh, I've put the Oh, I'm sorry there. My apologies.
That's what we call the commentator's curse.
Sorry, that's my mistake, Emily. That was my fault. Yeah, just as the wind has picked up here, I'm putting my jacket on here, J-Mac. It's gone a little bit wild and woolly here at Humber South.
Yeah, we might see some rain at some stage. The clouds are coming over. So it will be a kick from that out on the full. It's a long shot at goal. It was Barron who was having a shot at goal, but in the end, the mark was taken again by Spicer.
Guess who?
Yeah, she's been everywhere today. She's done a great job. If it wasn't for her, the Wildcats might have been down by a few more goals.
Yeah, her and Kamoli been great down back.
She kicks out looking for Muldoon. Couldn't take the mark. Spicer again gets hold of the footy. She goes back on her left boot, but there's all Kangaroos there. And the mark will be taken. That was a nice, strong mark. It looked to be Vanderbeek. In fact, it was Amaral. So Amaral looks as though she wants to have a shot on goal here. She's gone all the way back to the 50 metres, a.k.a. Dennis Lilly. It's a long run-up.
She tried to kick a goal from 65 metres at the end of the second half, so this is only 30.
Well, she certainly backs herself. She got a good piece of it, though. Right to the goal square, and the mark is taken. Very nicely done. And it's that girl once again, the MVP, Erin Loughnane. She goes back and puts it through, and the Kangaroos kick well clear, and you think they've just about done enough now, Drummy.
Oh, yeah, it's party time right now. They're just kicking goals and just getting around each other. And Roos, they do deserve this. They've been the best team all year. Credit to the Wildcats for putting up a great fight today. It's just a little bit, just the Roos just been too strong. And when you got stars such as Loughnane, such as Emerald, a beautiful long left foot, she was a long way out. And then, of course, who else but the league MVP? And then she didn't take her time. She just went back and just put it through. And how's the little celebration there? Well done to the Lady Roos. They're doing very well. Erin Loughnane on screen there. There's your league MVP. Honestly, probably one of the best players in the world, and she's here in Canada.
Yeah, she's been brilliant all day. She kicks what could be the biggest goal of the match, the sealer. Now the Wildcats, if they are to win it, they have to get things going right now. Grinsberg, she dodges back onto the left, now comes back on the right. She kicks it forward, looking for Jodie Flute. Flute couldn't take the mark. Flute needs to get hold of the footy and recover. She can't. The Kangaroos player first to recover. Now waiting at the back. A good opportunity to get the ball back in attack. It's the number 11, Yusuf. Yusuf goes to the middle of the ground. Looks like the mark was taken by Victoria Barron. It was. She did well there, Barron, running across traffic.
She had a great last quarter. Barron, she had a lot of it when the game needed to be won. They needed someone else to step up as well, and she's done great as the ball goes inside 50 here. And guess who? It's always Spicer there at the back. She's just so experienced, goes to the boundary line. Oh, a good tackle by Trevine, and she gets the ball on goal. And guess who? Again, if it's not Loughnane, if it's not Trevine, it's Kerwin, and she kicks another goal. And the Roos are just party time as they hit the lead. They've got a 27-point game. I think that's game over.
Yeah, it's been an absolute avalanche since about the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. Drummy, we've seen them kick the last 6 goals in a row. And unfortunately, they've just blown the Wildcats away here as we take a look at the replay. It was nicely done by Hayley Trevine. She just got it going forward. In the end, it was nicely done by Nicola Kerwin. Just finished off what was a nice play.
When you watch the replay again, a nice little block there by Chrissy Lay again. She's had 58 Shepherds today, and she kicked 2 goals. She's been fantastic up forward.
She's been excellent. She's been everywhere, and no doubt a very nice way to celebrate her birthday. As the ball goes back in the middle, Rutkowski won the tap. But again, the Kangaroos midfielders, they've been so good all day. Out the back, Van der Beek. Van der Beek kicks along. Yusuf is there coming through. That was nicely done by Yusuf. She got a hand pass. Hand pass was up to her partner in crime, Halliday. Halliday goes forward. Van Sevenen, she tried to soccer it. She had a fresh air swing. In the end, maybe she could have collected it with the hands.
Would have been probably the X-Blades goal of the day there. Just a nice little passage of play. Started from Yusuf at the back. Nice hand pass over to Halliday, who kicked it long, but just Van Severen. She's probably just a bit tight. She's been great all day, but just couldn't finish it off.
The time ticking down, and time is now the enemy of the Wildcats. This is Loughnane. She's really putting her stamp on this match now. She kicks forward. She's got Kangaroos players on a 3-on-1. Can Spicer save the day again? She's battling so hard. Someone go and help her out, girls. She's all on her own. Unfortunately, she's just overwhelmed by Kangaroos players who are all trying to get a goal to finish this grand final. Should have been holding the ball. She hand passed it to herself. That was Alice Dewhurst. And I'm really glad Spicer got the free there. She was all on her own. No one helped her out.
Fantastic. 1 on 5, I think she was, Jamie. Yusuf came and gave her a hand as well, but just a fantastic effort there. Oh, the old air swing. And well done, Dewhurst, to get the ball back to... Oh, that's a bit of bad luck there, Jamie.
That might have been out in the full, although it looks as though it's just trickled out of bounds, and it will be a ball up. We don't have boundary throw-ins in the ladies' competition, but we do have a ball up. Tap comes down. Loughnane is there. She bangs it long. It's going to the top of the square. I think Loughnane might have kicked another one, although it was touched on the line. Umpire says play on. Lets it run. There's a player at the back there. That's the number 6. She's been everywhere. That's Kerwin. She tried to kick herself another goal. It looks as though the umpire's pulled out a free kick. It will go the way of the Kangaroos, and it will be a shot at goal for Terry Ivaskow. I wonder if she'll go back and put it through. It's a very low kick. Good thing Rutkowski was on the line, the 6-footer. Kick over the top. It was almost the bicycle kick drumming.
She's nearly, she's tried everything today, Kerwin. Over the back, she loves a snap over the head. But again, Hamilton on the last line of the fence will get it out here through Grinsberg.
It is Grinsberg, although Loughnane is there. Loughnane manages to get hold of the footy. She comes back on her right. Will Loughnane kick another goal? She tries to, but she can't bend it back. She maybe should have gone with a banana. I think she tried to and just kicked it a little flush.
Yeah, she turned it into a barrel instead of like a banana or boomerang style of a spin of the ball. But I think they're just happy to keep the ball in their inside 50 as we get into the last 5 minutes of the last quarter here. J-Mac as one of the Amaral girls that just dominated across half-back here, J-Mac.
Absolutely, they are. It was Amaral who did well, who got the kick, but it was straight to a Wildcats player. The Wildcats can go back the other way. It's a 2-on-1. Kangaroos players are swarming everywhere. The Wildcats have got to get back and help. Once again, it feels like they've got 5 less players on the park sometimes. They just need to work a bit harder to get to the contest. I know it's tough, I know it's hard, but that's grand finals, folks. You got to do it. Big slinging tackle. Umpire says play on. We've seen a few of those slinging tackles today, and in fact, in the end, the umpire was called holding the ball.
It's Amaral's again. Who else would it be? Caught the ball. She's a great tackler across half-back.
So quick kick now by Hamilton. They'll go back the other way. Grinsberg is running through the middle. She's all on her own, but now she gets shut down. The kick instead goes straight down the line. That was nicely played by Halliday. Halliday found a player. This is Van Sevenen. Van Sevenen comes on the left boot. She's trying to go to the top of the square, the hot spot. Players will run after the footy. Jodie Flute is there. Lays a strong tackle. That was well done by Flute, and she's won herself a free kick holding the ball.
Yeah, great defensive pressure. It's hard to do all those defensive acts when you know you're probably game over. But she's been great. She's going to line up for a 3rd goal, and it's going to be a little bit difficult from the boundary. The wind's blowing the opposite way that you would like from that pocket. It's gone to the top of the sky. Good pass. Van Sevenen takes a mark, and they've been pretty good, these two up forward, for the limited opportunities that they've had, J-Mac, because the Roos have had lots. But great mark right in front. Tight angle, especially with the small goalposts. And that's a great goal, Van Sevenen. Well deserved. Probably won't been the best player. I would say maybe Spicer up down back, but she's been really good, Van Sevenen, to get herself a nice little sausage roll as she ribs it into a Team Canada teammate there in Victoria Barron.
Yeah, those two, Spicer and Van Sevenen, they have been the two standouts for the Wildcats. Unfortunately, they just haven't had enough help. As we take a look at the replay of what was a nice kick for goal. In fact, it was the mark at first. Van Sevenen waiting at the back. She took it comfortably. She was on a slight angle, went back and put it through with no problems. 2 minutes.
So we'll line up here, 2 minutes to go. Rokowski gets the tap out. Lognan again, in and under the ball. Rankin, hand pass out. Dives on the ball, the Wildcats play. Lognan at the back, sweeping it back. Another smother there by Halliday. Good play. Gets the handball out to Van Severen. She loves to run. Gets the kick out. Well done. Out to Kiefer, who also loves to run. Actually, it's Erica Scott. Out to Grinsberg. Takes a mark at half forward. And she will need to get the ball quickly as possible. There's not much time left to go. Good
nice
mark.
kick by Grinsberg in the end. She found a play. I'm not sure it went 15 metres though, Drummy.
No, well... that was where the Kiefer, she had the ball there before, played on, but she got it back now.
All right, so Kiefer, will she pop it up to the top of the square? She does. Backing back, nice, taking a very nice mark was Jocelyn Halliday. She needs to hurry up and kick it. They need a quick couple of goals in a row here, Hamilton, if they're going to win. I think she's put it through. She has, so they need to get the ball back quickly. Less than a minute pretty much to go. I think they're probably done, but you never know, Trummy.
I reckon you might need a few of those 30-metre penalties, J-Mac. But the Roos are pretty well disciplined through Greg Kennedy. But here we, actually the time doesn't stop as well, so we'll only have about 35 seconds left when the ball goes up in the ground. But as you can see here, Jacqueline, she's been pretty good, Halliday. She probably had a quiet third quarter when the Roos were starting to dominate, but she had a fantastic first half and a bit of reward for effort at a goal in the last quarter.
Ball up back in the middle. Rutkowski flies and she wins another tap. Time ticking down, just waiting for the final siren, and the Roos can begin their celebrations. It was a bit of a high tackle. Danielle Kamoli will win the tackle. Win the free kick, I should say, and she goes long. Grinsberg running after the footy here. Will she collect? She does. She needs to kick it quickly. Another quick kick looking for Jodie Fluett. Fluett at the back. She needs to get it on the boot. Grinsberg again. They're coming home with a wet sail here, Wildcats. It's all a little bit too late, but they're doing well to finish the game strongly. Grinsberg again getting another possession. Hand pass out the back. Fluett again, she needs to pick it up. She has Yusuf out the back. Instead, she goes further wider to Halliday. Halliday again kicks long, but a strong mark taken. Once again, it's Loughnane, and she's been everywhere today, Drummy.
Yeah, she's been fantastic. She's not kicking goals or getting clearances. She's taking the marks. But Holiday, maybe they should have moved her up forward early in the game. Ever since they moved her up forward in the last 5 minutes, she's been great. As Van Severen, she takes... Oh, they've given it to the girl in front, and there it is.
It's all over. The Kangaroos girls run onto the field and they have won the grand final. And what a great effort it was by the Kangaroos girls. Congratulations to them as they take out this year's Ontario AFL Women's Premiership, Drumming.
Yeah, well deserved. Undefeated all year round. They've trained hard for it. You can't say, I don't think any of the teams, men's, women's or Division 2 teams worked harder than that. And congratulations to the Etobicoke Roos. They win 58-38 and some of the better players there are on screen that you would think she did a great job would be Kate Rankin, but a great win here by the Roos. We'll go to a break and here at Humber South College, thanks to Rogers TV. And welcome back here to Humber College campus here. Thanks to Rogers TV. We've just seen the women's grand final between the Hamilton Wildcats and the Etobicoke Kangaroos. And as you see here, the Etobicoke Kangaroos came up victorious by 20 points. They've been undefeated all year round. They've been clearly the most dominant team. Their most smallest victory of the season. As you can see here, they've had a great start early. The Wildcats came out in front through a goal through Fluett very early in the first quarter, and looked like the Wildcats were going to cause an upset early on the game. Some big hits that you were seeing throughout the game, thanks to Van Severen there. Lots of contested footy, a great hit there by Halliday, and lots of tackles. Van Severen was probably one of the better players for the Wildcats throughout the day. Her and Emily Spicer at the end. And at this stage, when Fluett kicked a goal here in the first quarter, we're starting to wonder here in the commentary box, was there going to be a bit of a boil over as Fluett kicked her second goal in the first quarter? But then, as it started, the tide started to turn in the second quarter with a goal there to Trevelyan and Aaron Lognan there. Great teamwork letting that go through. A great passage of play here through Lisa Kiefer, who got the ball forward to Van Severen there. But it was the likes of Kerwin there who kicked some great goals. She hit the post on that occasion. She kicked some great snaps overhead. Chrissy Lee, on her birthday, she kicked some fantastic goals. One there where she stepped out of a phone box, kicked one through. Here's Gerwin, she snapped one over their head here in the second quarter. And from then on, the Roos started dominant. Erin Lognan, in my opinion, was best on ground. Chrissy Lee here for a second goal for her birthday. She was great, not only with the ball, but also defensively. But best on ground here was Erin Lognan with a great mark here in the goal square. Held the ball up, and when she kicked that goal, it knew it was the Roos. And she celebrated because that was a sealer. They knew they were going to win. And when Hayley Trevine kicked this to Gerwin, you knew it was game over right from there, and that was just party time. Better players here for the Roos there were Katie Rankin in the middle, was someone you wouldn't see in the highlights, but she did all the great stuff. And as the Etobicoke Roos sing their song, their premiers for 2015, cheers from everybody here at Rogers TV. We'll see you next year at Humber campus. Have a great summer.